Oh, okay. And because what that also did was when I sat back and I looked at it and I thought, what did our rally actually accomplish? It accomplished that the media people who attended finally were listening to us and realizing that, hey, these people know what they're talking about. They're not, they're not radical. They're not hysterical. They're not just against well, we were a little hysterical at times, but
Jan was making a face.
was she?
I'm sorry.
You know, I have these two big prints on my tongue these days because I just have to hold my tongue all the time. But anyway, it's just another thing I've had to learn because, you know, in my field, you have to act. You have to act now. You have to say what's on your mind. You have to do that. Well, politics is so much different, and y'all know that. But anyway, we had established a rapport with our media to where we actually got some of the best press for our little small town because our little small town is very close-minded when it comes to somebody else coming in and changing the status quo and coming in with a new idea because our city government is really pro Trans-Texas Corridor, and nobody can tell us why, you know, and we, you know, that's irrelevant. Well, yes, I wasn't going to take that away from you.
Okay, no fighting.
But anyway, and yes, and then our media was so courteous as to our point of view because we had been so convincing. And like I say, you know, we're polite, we respect their time, we take them a copy of our press release, we email it to them, take them a copy of our press release, and say, you know, we appreciate you looking at this. If you have any problems, call us back. We don't take up a lot of their time, you know. We don't sit there and try to sell our product to them, you know, because we just want our message out, and we want to sell it to the general public. But the media was so great because they went down to where Rick Perry was. Rick Perry actually came to the SFA. Yeah, that's another idea. Go ahead.
Well, I guess this is kind of backwards, but it started because the Rick Perry, I don't think we ever said, he came to SFA University to do our spring commencement speech. And when we found that out, I was telling lots of people, and the reaction I got every time was just, they were appalled because this is 2 months after we all had just learned, the entire East Texas area had just learned about his big 69 Trans-Texas Corridor plan, and so everyone was really appalled and insulted and outraged that he had the nerve to come into our town and just pretend everything was okay. Now, understanding that SFI gets a lot of money from him or from the university president, I'm sure we get a lot of funding from the state, and all that's politics beyond my understanding, but they still were the local people were very upset about it because, 3,600 acres of Nacogdoches County would go for this road. And so it's a huge issue there. But at the same time, like Mary Ann said, we have a very quiet town that I've had to go to 4 different places at the university before the first person could even begin to tell me how to do a rally, because that never happens in our town. It's not anything like Austin. And so, but going through the legal steps of it and making sure it was on the up and up gave us credibility. And of course, we have a lot of little old people that are real riled up, so to speak, about this, and the thought of them coming up to something that wasn't on the up and up and anything that, well, we didn't want anybody, getting arrested or anything like that. And so,
Tell them what that lady said.
Well, I was.
Okay, good. And then we have to stop.
Okay. I have an 88-year-old woman that has land from for generations, and quite a bit of it. And her brother-in-law was on his way to, no, never mind. Anyway, she's quite a character, and she had told me that she's not going to live that much longer, and so that if she could just get away to get all the way down to Austin, that she'd be glad to take her gun and shoot Rick Perry's, because she's not going to live much longer anyway.
We told her that we are nonviolent.
I also have a 96-year-old man that signed signed the Impeach Perry petition, and he went around the whole, next week or two after that, telling everyone in town that he had signed the Assassinate Perry petition. But Linda was kind enough and sweet
Why
enough
petition?
to come and be at our rally. So it was a great rally, and we appreciated her help, and we appreciate you all listening to what we had to say today.
And
Thank you. Thank you.
Okay. Also, we've got a really detailed outline of everything we thought
All
of,
the mistakes we made.
all the mistakes we made, everything we thought of, and kind of the reasoning behind it. And if you want to email either one of us, we'll be glad to send that back to you as an attachment.
Give your email. Is it?
It's on the card.
Great. Oh, you're so professional. I love that. When I went, I stayed at Jan's house, and you would not believe this house that she has, that her husband spent decades building by his hands, this cabin that I have pictures of it, and I meant to bring this. It's the most beautiful dream home. I mean, it's in this forest. It's the most beautiful place I've ever seen, and the idea of this road going through there just sickens me so much. It really motivated me. And they wanted me to speak to the news media, and I said, no, I'm not here to speak. You talk to them.
Yeah,
And I was so glad that we didn't do me, because it was so much more real to have you guys doing that.
well, and the thing was, we had to get it together so quickly that we didn't have that big of a turnout. But with all the signs and where we had it on the main drag of town on the other side of the campus. And it looked like 1,000 people were there. Because of where we had it and all the signs and stuff. We had. How many people were there?
Yeah, 40 people.
Maybe 40.
But the media is desperate for news in these
Yeah.
smaller towns.
Oh,
and
yes.
Always.
And let me tell you what, I know y'all live in a big rural area, a big metropolitan area maybe.
Not everybody.
But these little hometown papers, this is Jan and I at the state capitol, but these little hometown papers will, they vie for this information because they want to scoop each other. This doesn't come out but once a week, but boy, if Timpson got it and Garrison didn't, we would be in hot water. So they're clamoring for this information.
What's the name of your paper?
This is Garrison in the News.
Did you know that the McCurry Bank bought 14 small newspapers?
No, I did not.
It is not that one, though.
No, it's not.
We need to
this
move
one.
to the next panel right away now
Thanks.
because we're running very, very late.